Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. You're joining us in video number 2 of a 4-part series. This is the Just My Type Stamp-A-Stack. Today we're going to make this cute hello card. All right, so check out video number 1. You're going to want to start there where I give you a tour of the optional class packet. We have these class packets available while supplies last, and included are the card bases and basic die cutting and punching for 8 cards. There's a quarter pack or an eighth of a pack of the delightfully eclectic designer series paper. Now that's that $30 mega pack. So this is a nice way to get a sample of it to decide if you really love it before you invest. You get 5 yards of Misty Moonlight cotton ribbon, a half a package of festive pearls. You get 5 sheets of the gold ephemera that we're using on this. That's nearly a full pack of this ephemera. So this class pack is stacked, and you are going to be able to do these 8 cards. Let me show you the other designs, and have lots of designer series paper, ribbon, and ephemera left to play. So if you're looking for a class packet, they're available while supplies last. KitchenTableStamper.com/shop. And then if you're on a desktop or laptop, on the right hand side, sort for class packets. It'll make it really easy to find if we still have some available. If you're on a mobile device, scroll to the bottom, filter for class packets. In video number 1, we made You Hold the Key to My Heart. Video number 2, we'll make this hello. You'll notice that they're the same layout. And then in video number 3, we'll do thank you. In video number 4, we'll do hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna grab my class packet, which is well underway already, and get my Misty Moonlight. Now there's 2 Misty Moonlight designs in this one, so you want the one that is just your card bases for this design. And you can use the envelopes to sort your pieces. We've already cut our designer series paper according to the Wonder recipes. We introduced brand new Wonder Recipe 25. You can get these printable resources at KitchenTableStamper.com. The one-sheet Wonder cutting templates are free. This is our brand new Wonder Recipe number 25, and we need these 2 grid pieces. We cut our yellow dots according to Wonder Recipe number 7. We need these 4x3 pieces. We cut our plaid paper according to a modified Wonder Recipe number 16. And what we did was we cut all of the papers according to the sizes that are noted, but we stopped when we got to these chunks and we left them a little bit bigger. So these are 2.5 by 3 instead of 2 1.25 by 3 pieces. So the Wonder recipes are meant to help you cut your paper, which is sometimes the stumbling block to getting started, right? And then when you look at KitchenTableStamper.com, get the printable resource, but you can also sort according to the Wonder recipe number, which will show you lots and lots of layouts and ideas how to use the pieces once you've cut them. All right, so there's 25 Wonder recipes. The Wonder recipe number 25 is brand new. Just follow the link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Project details that'll take you to the blog post, and you'll find a clickable button that says click here, Wonder recipe number, and you can just download and print if you care to print the templates. They're PDFs that you can just store if you like. All right, so we've got our Misty Moonlight card bases all scored and for us, and then we folded them, burnishing with a bone folder. Oh, that would be a cute pattern for this too. I hate putting glue on the pretty side. That's all right, we're gonna just carry on. Too late now. And of course, you can use whichever patterns you want from the Delightfully Eclectic, because you're gonna get 2 6x6 pieces of every pattern. So you can use the same exact ones I did, or you can mix it up and use ones that you prefer. All right, we're gonna do 2 of this design. That's what this Wonder recipe makes. But by the magic of television, I've got one set of all of my stamping done. Now, I highly recommend that you cut your paper according to the Wonder recipe. Then you glue all your designer series paper pieces to all your card bases. Then you stamp all of your typewriters. Then you stamp all of your hellos and all of your flowers, do all of your stamping, then do all of your cutting, then do all of your assembling. So you actually work these in a batch, but for the videos, we're gonna do one of everything. Keep in mind that the packet makes 2 and the Wonder Recipe makes 2. So the first thing we're gonna do is grab the Petal Pink cardstock from the packet. Now we don't do any stamping or die cutting for the featured stamp set or bundle, but we do give you all of the coordinating cardstock that you need. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this hello. You can use your stamp positioner if you have one, but I really want my typewriter keys to be a good solid black. So grab a stamp positioner for this and some Memento Tuxedo black ink. The other thing I like to do is when I'm using my stamp positioner, I like to level out the lid or the plate so that when I ink, I get good even inking. We're going to ink and stamp and then repeat for this to get a good solid coverage, especially on the Petal Pink cardstock. If you don't have a stamp positioner, use your block. Ink very well. You'll take a little more time to ink than I did, and then you'll hold that image and walk your fingers on your stamp block and really let the ink transfer so you get the strongest, most solid impression possible. All right, let's go ahead and do that one more time. And then we're gonna switch, put some Very Vanilla cardstock in the Stamparatus. I'm going to turn my plate. Just put some grid paper so that I don't get ink everywhere. Stamp that one off. And we're going to do a black typewriter this time. So I'm going to use my Stamparatus for the Memento. I find that the Memento Tuxedo Black does benefit from a second coat of ink. Now, if you're like me and you still have the Stampin' Up! Archival Black, grab your Stampin' Up! Archival Black ink for these typewriters, and those will make good, solid black impressions. I love that ink and miss it. If you've been stamping with Stampin' Up! For a while, you might have that. All right, let's ink up our typewriter, and we're gonna do that same ink, stamp, re-ink, and stamp again. I also do like to use my stamp positioner because then I don't have to be quite as precise or fiddly when I'm inking and stamping. I've got the flexibility to lift and repeat, and any stamp positioner on the market really today will give you this benefit. All right. You're going to do one hello greeting for each card, so 2, and you're going to do 2 typewriters. Let's take this out of the way and bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat. Now, Just My Type is a photopolymer stamp set, so we want that Stampin' Pierce mat, and you can get this by going to marisaAlvarez.stampinup.net and click shop. Just My Type stamp set is a current stamp set from the 2023-2024 annual catalog. And if this Just My Type stamp set isn't quite your type, that's okay. You can choose other images from other stamp sets. Just think about something that's kind of solid and that you can cut out the bits and have some coordinating sentiments. So really, you can do these kits and these Stamp-A-Stacks with what you have on hand. I'm going to stamp my flowers and a couple of envelopes on Very Vanilla. And then we're going to do the paper. Then we're going to change paper. Let's get the crushed curry from the packet. We're gonna do a flower, crushed curry. You're gonna do one for each card. Now, while these dry a little bit, let's go ahead back to our flowers here. And we're gonna do a bit of coloring. I'm using the light Lost Lagoon and dark petal pink. We're just gonna color these in. Leaves green, flowers pink. I like this Lost Lagoon color. It fits kind of the muted kind of tints, the colors that we have here. And it also works great with our festive pearls, which have this beautiful soft green color. I'm just gonna fill in for the flowers. Now, this design makes two, so you'll wanna do two of these. And if you're doing the Stampin' Stack, our next design also uses two of these. So you might wanna stamp all four, color all four, and cut all four at one time. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out each of these pieces for each card, and I'm going to do it with a little vanilla border. And when I do my flowers, I'm going to leave a bit of a glue tab. So you want to cut a little bit lower than the stems, and then make an angle cut, and then start your fussy cutting with a little vanilla border. And when you get back to the other side, you're going to do the same thing, and it's going to leave you a glue tab where you can put your adhesive and put the flowers into the typewriter. Okay, so we've cut with our little border of vanilla. We're to the other side, an angle cut. Leave that little space for some glue. Let's trim out the typewriter. All right, there's our typewriter. I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid glue right on this tab, and then put the flowers so that they're growing out of the typewriter. All right, there we go, by the magic of television. Let's get the rest of our bits here. I went ahead and did all the multiples ahead. We've got our hello to deal with. You're gonna love this. These hello keys pop out with a 3/4 inch circle punch. Really handy. You can do all the letters, they don't touch. Just slide over and pop them all out. Is that not just the most awesome benefit? Now let's get some dimensionals on the back of all of our hello letters and our envelopes. And those dimensionals are really going to make them look like typewriter keys. All right, let's go ahead and get these little typewriter keys. I'm going to show you my sample and show you how I did this. So we do have to reassemble now. And what I did was put them in the letter order upside down. So I've got H, and then E, L, L, O. And I'm going to start with the O. And I'm going to use the Designer Series paper as my guide. I'm just lightly dropping the letter down on the card without pressing. That'll give you some time to arrange the spacing or level out the keys if you find that they're uphill, downhill, curvy, or you don't have even spacing. But starting with the O and working backwards to the H using the Designer Series paper as your guide to level. Don't burnish down, just drop them on. Then, now that you've got them, you kind of take a step back and say, okay, this E is a little crooked. We gotta twist it a little bit. The H is a little far from the E compared to the others, and this L is a little high. So we make those adjustments while we still can. Take another look at it, and when you're satisfied, then press those keys down. Next, we're going to choose our ephemera. Let me show you my samples here. So this is our ephemera pack, and you're going to get 5 sheets of these ephemera. You've got some irregular hexagons, standard hexagons, different leaf and sprig combinations. You'll see this one we used with a small irregular hexagon and 3 leaves. This one we used a small regular hexagon, leaves and sprigs. But you are going to have plenty of these to choose for each of your cards, and each card is going to be its own unique creation as you mix and match these ephemera bits. So I'm going to go with the same small irregular hexagon and small regular hexagon. I'll get one of each leaf and hexagon for each copy of the card. Okay, so we've got our ephemera sorted out for each card and our typewriter with the flowers. Let's go ahead and adhere these things all at once to our card. And what this is going to allow us to do is use the adhesive from these other pieces to trap down the ephemera. And that way you don't have to worry about getting gluey fingerprints on your ephemera. If you get glue on the ephemera, it's going to be very difficult to make it shiny again. So we want to keep the glue to a minimum. So we've got plenty of glue on the back of our typewriter, got our ephemera, and we're going to trap that using the glue from the typewriter. Same thing with copy number 2. Plenty of glue. We're going to put our little hexagon and then use the glue from the typewriter to begin securing the ephemera. Now I've got mini glue dots here, and I'm going to put a mini glue dot at the base of each of these ephemera leaves, and that will again minimize the amount of liquid glue that we can make fingerprints on our little ephemeras. We're going to put that at the corner, at the edge of our typewriter. Same with our second one. Now each of these is going to have its own characteristic, a little bit different. It's going to change up the layout of it just a little bit, the width, depending on which piece you choose. I like to just lift and slip the edge of the ephemera leaf right underneath the typewriter. There we go. Now, next up, let's get our mini dimensionals, and we're going to use these where the leaves also overlap the ephemera. So we've used it to further secure the ephemera. Put the little Stampin' dimensional, it's holding the ephemera, and then the leaf secures it. Same thing over here. So you're looking for these opportunities to just add adhesive to this ephemera without actually adding adhesive to the ephemera. There we go. Next up, we're going to get our bows. So I've got my cotton ribbon here. You get 5 yards of this. You're going to make a little bow. Loop, swoop, tuck and pull. Leave it right on the spool. That'll give you the most possible bows with the least amount of waste. Got your little bow. Cut it off with a spool. And then when you trim the tail, that's all the waste. Really good way to make the most of your Stampin' Up! Ribbons is to keep it tied on the spool. We're going to get a mini glue dot for our bows. And now the bow is going to even more further secure our ephemera. Let's get our envelopes. So we cut 2 for each card, and each card's going to have its own little I guess arrangement for the pieces, because the ephemera is different for each piece. So we're going to add our envelopes. I think up there, maybe down here. I think this there. Last up is our little daisy piece, and for the little daisy I like to take a half of a mini glue dot, or half of a mini dimensional, sorry, and add that right above the knot on your bow, and then put a mini glue dot. So you got the dimensional on the card, the glue dot on the flower. You're going to peel. The dimensional's now sticky. Add the flower so that the glue dot is on the ribbon and the dimensional supports the other half of the flower. Pretty good, right? Now for this one, we've got our festive pearls. You've got gold, silver, and this pale green. So I like to use this pale green on the design with the typewriter filled with flowers because it picks up on the leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and embellish both of mine with the green from the festive pearls. You can mix them and match them however you like. All 3 colors look awesome. Now you're going to have the red festive pearls, and then it's up to you if you use the red festive pearls at all in this Stamp-A-Stack. You will have enough of the other 3 colors without having to use the red ones. The red ones are just an extra bonus for other projects, but I'm going with both green ones for this. And then let me show you some of the other colors also. So I'm doing 3 and then 2, 5 on each card. And then here is silver. And that looks equally great, and green. All right, that's it, you guys. That's our hello card. And that concludes our video number 2 in the series. Please go back and check out video number 1. Tomorrow I'll be back with video number 3 and our final card in the series. I hope your day is filled with sunshine. All right, if you're interested in class packets, you can go over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop, filter using the right-hand menu or the filter at the bottom if you're on a mobile device for class packets. You can see if we have any of these available. If you've got questions about the project, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com, and to shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.